Hey everyone, Zane here, and I am about to give you my final picks and predictions for the 95th Academy Awards. Alright, gonna do this a little bit similar to how I did it with the live video on Instagram, if any of you saw it, where I'm just gonna do this whole live continuous video and tilt the camera. I'm going to show you my dual monitor with both the overall collection of experts and editor picks for who might win, along with my picks compared to what I picked last time, and see if I change anything, for one reason or the other. Here, but before that, I'm going to start with my ranking of all 10 of the Best Picture movies. So, let's see. Here on my iPad, I have my list. So, gonna start from the bottom and go all the way to the top. So, at the bottom of the list, number 10, Triangle of Sadness. Basically, it feels like that's the dark horse nomination out of the Best Picture. There's that they always have that, and something that's maybe has interesting ideas, but completely bonkers or questionable execution for various things. And so that's so not really winner, but some recognition, understandable. So then I have Avatar: The Way of Water, outstanding achievements in all the technical realms and interest and themes and all that. Just obviously Best Picture winner, not so much, and some questionable runtime and things in the story that are a little questionable, but that will happen, and that's going to happen with the next following movies. These I'm going to discuss in a second, which I, just for fairness, I rated this and the next two other movies. These, so 3 total, the same rating. If you want to check out my ratings, you can just check them out on my Letterboxd account for Tomorrow Pro. So number 8, The Banshees of Inisherin. Why I have that one as number 8 compared to other articles and other ones naming it their top one or top 3. I don't know, whatever. The reason is of course, yes, it's really well acted and very nice aesthetics and nice score, and well directed. A little bit questionable on the screenplay. Not so much the dialogue. I like the dialogue, but it's the actual story and the actions and certain things that are just unnecessary or just So yeah, it's not that. Yeah, and just to point it out, it's not big. It's not at a low rate because it's like a drama tragedy, or whatever the phrase is. Kind of like a classic Shakespearean thing. It's not like that. Sad movies have won Best Picture in the past, and I've voted for them, and I've even supported that decision, having Best Picture sad movies like Titanic win Best Picture. I support that. But so the sadness part isn't really the issue with this one. Just questionable actions and maybe a little bit too long of a runtime. Just as I'm just saying, despite it is still a solid movie, but I just wouldn't pick it as Best Picture, especially compared to the other movies. Next, Tar. It's a very interesting movie. Kate Blanchett knocks it out of the park as always. That she's probably she's the highlight of that movie, and it's just an interesting whole someone just promising and just who's on top of their game, and slowly all these little things start happening to go all chaotic. It's so it's interesting. It's so it fits the Best Picture nomination, just maybe not winner, but at least but it's within reason. So I'll give it that. All right, so let me just make sure that's correct. 9, 7, 6. Number 5, 6 or sorry. Next one is Elvis. It's obviously it's pretty self-explanatory. Right? Biopic of Elvis Presley and Baz Luhrmann and made it very stylistic. And also kept things going, very quick paced, and especially because it's almost 3 hours because there's a lot of things that happen, and that kind of explains why certain things are pretty quick. Which probably would have been nice to stay a little longer on some scenes, but that's fine. Well, that's a whole different thing. And I just feel like that's going to be and it's also Austin Butler's the stands out now strongly, and the aesthetics stand out a little bit more. I'm not sure if I would give it the top prizes for picture or anything like that. Just respectfully, it's I feel like it's the musical biopic that should be that kind of what they were doing with what was it called, Bohemian Rhapsody. And honestly, this movie is better than that movie in certain ways. And primarily, definitely with the writing and directing is definitely better because and character maybe character focus is a little bit not the same compared to that one, but it's not really that doesn't really matter there. But yeah, so there's that. Next, All Quiet on the Western Front. An interesting World War I movie told from the German's perspective. Very well done, very aesthetically beautiful, and brutal. It definitely fits the best picture type, and also has its sets of tragedy, kind of similar to Banshees. In that way, not the tone and situation is not the same. But yeah, that one I ranked as my number 5. So Elvis was 6. But now number 4, I put Women Talking, especially because it's very well written, well acted, and has very relevant themes and loosely inspired by true events. And it's something that just feels like it resonates and definitely feels like a strong best picture or nomination, higher compared to the ones I just mentioned. So that's why I have that one as my number 4. Number 3, The Fabelmans. I mean, you can't go wrong with Steven Spielberg. Or never. You obviously, messing up that word. But now this one he actually is telling a version of his life story, growing up, his interest in how he was growing up, and his interest in filmmaking, and how that has influenced some of his other works over the years. And now we get to see it. And plus the entire cast is spectacular. It's an amazing score from John Williams, and just has the family moments that do feel very best picture-y and are very relatable. So yeah, there's that. Then we got number 2, Top Gun Maverick, as basically one of the handful of movies that's better than the original. And basically everything that they were waiting for or paid off, and also it's also has massive achievements on its technical side as well. And I'll probably say this again, but seriously, you guys snubbed it out of cinematography. Oh my god, they're crazy. Anyway, so chances are I'll mention that later on. But yeah, and also just it's just one of those movies that it also resonates with all different types of audiences, younger generation, the older generation, the middle generation. I don't really like saying the millennial or Gen Z or stuff like that. I don't know how to. I honestly don't know how to define that stuff. It gets very confusing, and maybe I might get it backwards. So I'll just plainly say it just applies to all generations. And yeah, it's just well done. And now my top pick. Top of the nominations. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. It's that's the movie that caught me, and probably so many other people by surprise, because like beforehand there was like a lot of movies about like and shows about like multiverse stuff, and probably people probably were getting a little tired of it. But now this one, the Daniels were able to make it like more creative and innovative, and both and fun, and just like and just do a lot of different, and just do so many wild things that just work really well. And it has that whole best picture or feelings things throughout the movie, like especially with the family elements to it. And its themes. So that's why I have it. And a little side note, I actually read that like this year with Everything Everywhere All at Once and Top Gun Maverick, they said that this is like a strong year for having action movies getting back into the Best Picture races, which is and that's honestly I agree, that's a good thing because it's because they are a little bit more difficult to. They're not as action movies don't really get nominated in that kind of capacity compared to it, because like normally because some people would expect like Top Gun Maverick would be similar to like all the Mission Impossible movies, where the recent ones were spectacular, but they never even got Academy Award nominations, which is surprising and shocking. I don't know how that's possible, but some people were probably just expecting it to just be not to get like some things, but not like so overperformed. Both of them overperformed, which is really good, and they deserve to overperform this time. Yeah. So yeah, that's that's all the 97 award Best Picture nominee rankings, but for like the individual movies. But now it's time for the actual nomination ranking picks and rankings, and we're gonna compare it to what I did for my choices at the time, like about 2 weeks ago. So we're gonna start with Best Live Action Short Film, and well, I have not seen any of these short films. The only one I saw was Taylor Swift's All Too Well, which they tried to submit that for Best Short Film, but for some reason it didn't make the cut. I don't know why. I'll have to look that up later. But for let's see if I can angle this right. Okay. Yeah, so it says for live action short film, I basically just put whatever the rankings were for this one. So how I pronounce this really quickly. Li Pen. And I just put that as like the top pick. Then I guess Irish Goodbye is the runner-up. That sounds about. I guess that sounds fair. Okay, so now next. Okay, documentary shorts. I think this one will still stay about the same. We got the Elephant Whisperers. I think I picked that as my top one. That's the same list as the odds and on here as well. Oh yeah, just for official clarification, this side is my picks. This is just like the odds, like the overall odds, and this is like the same thing, but just like a little bit with its own window, just so I can see it a little bit wider, I guess. Yeah, just in case. Yeah, we'll be able to try. Okay, just the angles, I can only get so much on this angle, so we're gonna stick with this angle. Well, so the Elephant Whisperers for documentary short, that's my guess. Okay, 1 second. Animated short. This one, I have seen one of these, and obviously the one I saw is the runner-up, and what I predict will win: The Boy, The Mole, The Fox, and The Horse. Yeah, very sweet, very cute, very well made, and also just like reminds me a lot of like the whole kids hang with talking animals those thing. I really like that elements, and plus it has like touching themes and moments. So I feel like that one's like I say is locked in the win. Okay, Now, for international film, I mean, All Quiet on the Western Front is my top pick, and it's everybody's top pick. And then it looks like Argentina in 1985 is the runner-up, so I have that as the runner-up. So, yeah, so All Quiet on the Western Front still, I predict the win. Now for documentary, we got a little kind of. I guess the odds kind of shifted a little bit last time I saw it, because this one was also something I just picked, followed the crowd. From the looks of it, I guess it's divided between All the Beauty and the Bloodshed and Navali, or I hope I'm saying that right, or something or close to it. Or maybe, yeah, so I mean, I'm just gonna go a little wild. I'll just stick to All Beauty and Bloodshed, but move the other one as the second rank, I guess. Frankly, I haven't seen these, so I'm just playing it by ear, just rolling the dice. So, now, animated features. Well, this one is the list where I actually did kind of briefly go off the main crowd for a little bit. I still do think Pinocchio will win, and I still have to, it's like a solid movie. And I mean, even though I by a few percentage better, like 2% better or 3% better, I like Puss in Boots a little bit more, but it's also a very. But I'm not sure. But I feel like the chances of that one winning are a little bit more. Aren't definitely not really so much, especially because Pinocchio did a lot. It's aesthetics probably are helping keep it going in its songs. So I think there's just other qualities to it. So that's why I still think it'll win. But I still put Puss in Boots as my runner up compared to Marcel and the Shell. Yeah, I haven't seen that, and haven't seen the other ones either. So yeah, that one stays the same. We got visual effects, Avatar. It's kind of unanimous on that one. But obviously I put Top Gun as the runner up. Even though like I said, this one's pretty locked in the win. Sound. I put Top Gun. I still think it will be Top Gun, but I'll say Quiet on the Western Front is the second pick. Yeah, that sounds about right. And song, I don't think these have changed. My rankings are locked for that one. So the song from RRR looks like it's still the front runner, and I still select that to win. Even though I haven't actually listened to it all the way through, but it is on a winning streak, so I think it'll win. Okay, now this one, I guess I'm a little bit more divided on best score now. I don't know if Babylon is my top pick anymore, especially because it's kind of losing its morale, its momentum with its score recently, especially with the BAFTAs, because All Quiet on the Western Front won the BAFTA. Although they're a little bit different compared to the Academy, so that's not entirely a solid case. It's just a point of observation. But I actually think it's going to be between All Quiet on the Western Front and the Fabelmans. I think those are the two that are going to be head to head. But that's the question: is that's the big question. I feel like I'm going to take my chances and just go with Quiet on the Western Front, especially because they used interesting instruments for that one, and different styles. But with Fabelmans in the second rank, right? Then there we go. Yeah, Fabelmans is the runner-up. So I feel like that's probably. I'll take my chances with that. Production design. I think I went a little bit different with this one. I only got Babylon versus Elvis. for production design. Well, to be fair, production design is one of the only good things about Babylon. But Elvis also had some very stylistic sets. So it's a very yeah, you got that. Do I keep it? You know what? I'll take the chances. I'm gonna say Elvis will be my pick for production design. And I'll keep that locked in. And now for makeup and hairstyling, we're gonna have to change this one up. I originally put in the whale with Elvis as my runner-up, but I'm actually gonna switch that up. I vote Elvis, and then I'm gonna put the Batman, then the whale, then Black Panther, and then Western Front. Those are my picks. A little unusual, but it's also because like people are forgetting and all the prosthetics that were used in the Batman, and also like Colin Farrell did not look recognizable as Oswald Cobblepot. People are forgetting about that, so that should be. I feel like that is something that should stand out. But yeah, but I feel like either one of those, it's a pretty flexible one. There's going to be a lot of different opinions about that. Okay, now for film editing, this one's the very tricky divide between Everything Everywhere All at Once and Top Gun Maverick. Those are the two films that are head-to-head with film editing. For one, you got some really quick, rapid sequences in Top Gun Maverick, especially with like all the in the plane sequences. It isn't cutting all around. But for this one, you got all the all the different multiverse universes and parallel universes in there, cutting all around, and keeping things going. So yeah, I know it's a tough fight, but that being said, I think because of that, I'll give it to Everything Everywhere All at Once, but with Top Gun Maverick as my runner-up. And then after that, Elvis, then Tar, then Banshees. Honestly, I don't know why Banshees is nominated for film editing. There's other movies I would have preferred to be nominated compared to that one. That doesn't really stand. To me, that movie doesn't really stand out as a film editing movie. Respectfully. Now for costume design, this one, I think I was a little divided on this one too, because it's between Elvis and Black Panther. Then you got Babylon and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Then Miss Harris Goes to Paris. I haven't seen that one, so I wouldn't know. Yeah, here's the thing. I mean, it's tempting, but I'm just gonna switch that up. I'm gonna say Elvis, then Black Panther, then Babylon, then Everything Everywhere All at Once. So yeah, I guess I'm following this crowd this time. But remember, there's so many costumes in both these movies and different stuff, styles and colors, and just so many and very broad. Alright, now we got probably the most controversial one of the year, cinematography. Let's see, what did I pick? I think I picked this one. I kind of agreed with the top two picks because, since Top Gun and the Batman were snubbed, or amongst the top two most snubbed, along with other ones. But when you're looking at these ones, I feel like these two movies are probably the ones that are going to go head to head. They're both like stylistic. They're also a lot of movement, a lot of different texture, and very well lit. So it's like, I think but on the list it's, I think I agree with the top one where it should be all Quiet on the Western Front for the official win, because there's like a lot more movement, a lot more environment, like being inside and outside a lot more. So, and also candle lighting, fire lighting, all that stuff. with Elvis as the runner-up. Close enough. Well, compared to the others. So yeah, that stays the same. Now we got original screenplay. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, this is the other one. I get it. I mean, the top picks pick it for, well, I mean, the numbers are a little bit wacky on this one. I mean, more of the top choices are for Everything Everywhere, but they have over 3,300 picks, when Banshees is under 3,000, but it still has higher odds. I mean, I don't really follow these odds so much. I don't really understand them. It's just like depends on who's gonna win. And this video is also made before the WGA awards that are happening they're happening tomorrow, actually. So, and also Banshees is didn't qualify and is not nominated for that one. So sometimes I feel like that's gonna so that one it will probably be Everything Everywhere all at once. But that one that winning the WGA will increase its chances at winning this one. Well, yeah, but you don't need but at the same time you don't need the WGA win to win the Academy Award. There's a lot of examples of like movies that have won like the Golden Globe at first and then don't win the screenplays later on, or other ones that are nominated for are nominated for all of them that don't win, but then win the Academy Award at the very end. And it's like Imitation Game is a good example of that one for adapted screenplay. So, then there's also the then can't rely heavily on this one, but the BAFTAs sometimes they have their picks. They picked Banshees for theirs, but they also also last year they picked the wrong movie for Best Original Screenplay last year. So I don't know. But at least Banshees was better than last year's movie that won for some reason, probably favoritism. I don't know. But here's the thing. But my picks. That's the thing. I feel like Everything Everywhere at Once is just more original and more creative, and doesn't have as many questionable actions compared to Banshees, which is why I don't know why they keep picking it as the top one. And it's, side note, it's not as good as 3 Billboards. Come on. Let's just be respectful. Just being honest with that one. I'm sure a lot of people agree. I mean, I'll be fine if it wins, but if I was actually casting a vote, I would not cast it as my top pick. So yeah. So Everything All at Once is my top pick, and then honestly, kind of piggyback to these, the FiLMiC and Tar. Honestly, I think those ones have better screenplays than Banshees. And Triangle of Sadness, like I said, that's like the dark horse random one. I feel like people just like throw it in there just to. They want to have the most weirdest movie out there being recognized. Beyond me, but whatever. What was it? So, yeah, FiLMiC and Tar are the runner-ups. Next, adapted screenplay. I think, the ranking order, I think I have it as, about the same. I picked about the same. So, Women Talking is my top pick. All Quiet on the Western Front is my runner-up. And it won the BAFTA, so I'll for adapted screenplay. So that's fine. So that makes it a fair runner-up. Okay, I guess that's all that needs to be said. And best supporting actor. List is basically this is just very simple. Ki Hein Kwan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Straightforward. Now, Best Supporting Actress. This is going to be an interesting one. Even though Carrie and Jamie had a slight boost recently with Carrie's BAFTA, then Jamie leads a SAG, but you also don't need just because you won one of those ones doesn't mean you're locked to win, because Angela Bassett still won the Golden Globe and the Critics' Choice. Nice. So, and she's she's always amazing. So, I'm gonna keep the list. I'm gonna keep this locked. So, I think Angela Bassett will win and help prove to any directors and producers out there that think that Marvel movie actors can't win in Oscars. They're gonna be able to shove it in their faces. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, and plus she deserves it. So, come on. Now this is going to be the tricky one. Best Actor. Like a couple weeks ago, first I put Brendan Fraser and then Austin, or maybe it was just in the moment, but I'm going to reset the list because here's the thing. Obviously it's between those two. But here's the thing. As great as Brendan Fraser was, he was the best part of that movie for sure. But that doesn't mean that he should win, respectfully. He has his nice moments, but at the same time, there's certain things that just don't all feel like Best Actor winning. However, Austin hits those marks because, for one, he's playing like a very well-known person and has to embody that person, and that requires talking like him, sounding like him, singing, a lot of dancing, a lot of movement, and just a lot of preparation, and just a lot of commitment, a lot of things. And has a lot more tougher scenes. I guess is one way to say it. And yeah, and it's just there's just a lot more. It just feels like he just feels more like the best actor pick compared to the others, respectively. He won the Golden Globe, he won the BAFTA, and so yeah, and also his odds are pretty high. Other people, Brendan still has pretty strong choices, but I don't know about. But his odds are lower. I don't know. Even the SAG win, that's questionable. I feel like this year, for Best Actor and Best Actress, it's going to be very divided. Because there's been years where the Best Actor and Actress categories have been very divided, and Supporting Actress ones as well. So it's going to be a very tough list. But honestly, my pick is Austin Butler, with Brendan Fraser as the runner-up. Then I guess Colin Farrell is the number 3. Just a nomination, not a win. Yeah. So yeah, that's my pick. Now this one, is like I said, is very divided. We got Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once and Cate Blanchett. I originally put Cate Blanchett. It's a tough, this is a very tough category. It's just because it's because they both did spectacular, and also as far as the award shows going, they're both dominating different ones. Kate has won most of them, but Michelle's she just got the SAG, and she still got her share in the Golden Globes. So. Yeah, it's a very tough. It's very close. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take my chances and end up saying Michelle for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Once with Kate Blanchett as the runner-up. You know, I don't take my chances. So either one of them, that's fine by me. Now for Best Director, I mean, it's gotten this one. I mean, I think I've said the list is the same. Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once, with Steven Spielberg as the runner-up. I think that's very straightforward. So either one of them to win. Alright, now, Best Picture. This is pretty simple. I don't forget about everyone's top choice is Everything Everywhere All at Once, and that is my top choice. At least with I put The Fabelmans and Top Gun Maverick as the runner-up. So, could be either one of those. But yeah. So yeah. Everything Everywhere All at Once is a lot. Might be very victorious. Is going to be very victorious this year, as it deserves. So that is my selections, and yeah. So, and I hope that Academy members are watch this video and take it into consideration. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day, and go vote.